Be strong.
After scolding, Kim SeoJoon finally told himself, "There's nothing else to do. Think about that lecture later. It's already hard for me to spend time on lectures now. Does the Ultimate Academy sell this item? No. If I can't attend the lecture, I should at least get some equipment." Kim SeoJoon just sat in the middle of the street scrolling through his phone and saying words that no one understood. Everyone passing by thought he was crazy or sick. What? After searching for a while, Kim SeoJoon finally found the right item, and the Ultimate Store system appeared, selling training equipment personally created by accepted students. Kim SeoJoon looked at the donated items and couldn't believe it. He couldn't say a single word. This is it. Holy water, magic shield, even the spear of Saint Longinus, even though the owner is a replica, they are all legendary level equipment. These are all considered training equipment. Saint Longinus or Longinus of Caesar was the Roman soldier who stabbed Jesus in the side with a spear. Even facing someone like him who did not know about weapons, they did not look ordinary. If the equipment created by the students was accepted, then it meant they were created by superior people. Kim SeoJoon still sat on the street thinking about the items he was given. He thought excitedly, yet I can easily get legendary level items created by superior people, equipment I can use right now. Kim SeoJoon chose the spear of Saint Longinus. The system displays information about the spear, the keel, the spear of Saint Longinus, the divine spear that is rumored to have stabbed the god when he was nailed to the cross. Kim SeoJoon pressed the buy button on the system. The system displayed a notification, calculating the cause and effect ratio that could give the appropriate price, Longinus's spear. The next morning, the rhythmic sounds rang out again, 88, 69, 70, 71, 72. SeoJoon once again raised a question mark over this scene. Kim SeoJoon was doing push-ups very enthusiastically. SeoJoon said, "He seemed to be doing more vigorously than yesterday. What happened?" The counting sounds kept ringing, 76, 77. Kim SeoJoon thought while doing push-ups, "I had already predicted that it would be quite tricky. Even a fake copy would be worth millions in gold in reality. I have calculated the risks." Remembering the price of Longinus's spear, Kim SeoJoon still couldn't believe it. It cost $100,000. He lamented, "But oh god, I'm bad at math. There's no way I have that much money, not to mention I cannot resell items." It turned out that this was an item created by successful students for juniors to use, so reselling was strictly prohibited. Kim SeoJoon complained, he should have closed his eyes to loan it and then resell it. Kim SeoJoon finished doing the push-ups. He sullenly faced the wall and said bitterly, "In the end, it all comes down to money. $100,000 is a lot. I can't even guess when I will be able to do it." Listening to the $27 million lecture of great Saint Chi Tian, SeoJoon went to ask Kim SeoJoon, "Mr. SeoJoon, are you free?" It seemed like SeoJoon said something. Kim SeoJoon didn't understand anything and asked again, "What about the Academy race?" SeoJoon asked again, "Yes, have you ever heard about the Academy race?" Kim SeoJoon replied, "I had indeed heard about it, but I didn't know the details." SeoJoon explained to him, literally, it was a competition between academies, a competition in which countless academy attended to show off their best. SeoJoon gave Kim SeoJoon a file about the 4th level Academy race and told him, "This is relevant material. You can consider it as a place to evaluate the level of an academy. These various competitions are quite numerous, but the Academy race belongs to the 4th level tournament in those competitions. If you perform well in the competition, you can qualify for the higher level tournament," allowing he increased the number of people who applied to the Academy and was authorized by the government, so the Hunter Academies did not hesitate to pour all their resources into it and bring in the brightest talents, heard SeoJoon say. After that, Kim SeoJoon immediately told her, "So the reason she explained these things to me was of course." SeoJoon smiled and said, "Yes, that's correct. I want Mr. SeoJoon to participate and represent our Dream Hunter Academy." Kim SeoJoon began to calculate in his head, in the Academy race, if he participated, would he be able to quickly increase the progress of his lectures? Thinking about it, he realized that this could also be considered an experience. Without thinking for long, Kim SeoJoon immediately agreed. He said, "Sounds good, I will join." SeoJoon was quite surprised and asked again, "Oh really?" Kim SeoJoon said, "That's part of our commitment. What will we usually do while the race takes place?" SeoJoon said, "Although we cannot know the exact details of the race, we know it is judged by adding up the total points of the dungeon stage and the cadet tournament, which Kim SeoJoon summed up, are the performances, dungeon rating and star duels." Recalling what he had experienced in the past, Kim SeoJoon commented, "Now that I think about it, my experience fighting monsters is only a Manticore and Connells. I have no experience at all. Experience fighting with other cadets. Thinking about Kim SeoJoon's lack of combat experience, he felt sad and thought to himself, what should I do? I'm going to participate anyway, so I want to do it properly. Is there anyone free to duel with me? Kim SeoJoon turned back to SeoJoon. He asked her, Miss SeoJoon, if you don't have anything to do, can you duel with me? SeoJoon couldn't believe it, so she asked again, why me? SeoJoon walked to the place where the weapons were kept. She picked up a sword and thought to herself, what the hell am I doing now? Kim SeoJoon saw this as a good opportunity. He looked at SeoJoon and thought, Miss SeoJoon is a B-level hunter. Maybe B-level is just B-level, but she is a B-level hunter trained by that sword star character. A cadet can no right to judge a professional hunter, but I'm curious how strong Miss SeoJoon really is. Kim SeoJoon couldn't hold back his excitement when thinking about this, even though SeoJoon was wondering if he really wanted to do that. SeoJoon said to Kim SeoJoon, you know I'm a B-rank hunter, right? Kim SeoJoon replied confidently, of course. At this moment, Kim SeoJoon took up her mental weapon and was determined to tell SeoJoon firmly, please take care of her. SeoJoon still seemed to be giving in to Kim SeoJoon. She sighed and said, I'll take the first hit so you can rush forward as you please. Kim SeoJoon rushed forward and said, so I won't refuse. SeoJoon was also ready. She was still confident in her abilities before Kim SeoJoon. The match had begun. Although SeoJoon dodged Kim SeoJoon's attacks, she noticed that Kim SeoJoon's moves were strange. She assessed that he was quick to approach, but they were also very sloppy. And the way he observed it was easy to predict where he would attack. It seems I overestimated him in the kobold dungeon. The cadet is truly a cadet. I don't know where he got the confidence to mock me like that. But with just this one attack, SeoJoon raised her sword high as if she wanted to launch an official move. With the sword brought down, SeoJoon was confident that she would end the match now. But SeoJoon's eyes suddenly showed surprise. Kim SeoJoon blocked SeoJoon's sword attack. Kim SeoJoon was struggling to defend against SeoJoon's attack. He had to grit his teeth and seemingly use all his strength to resist this attack. SeoJoon was surprised. How could he block a blow containing mana? The weapon should have flown out of his hand. SeoJoon was busy thinking when at this moment Kim SeoJoon took the opportunity to counterattack. SeoJoon still didn't believe Kim SeoJoon could block her attack. She still thought she would put her sword on Kim SeoJoon's neck. SeoJoon hit Kim SeoJoon backed away. Kim SeoJoon now smiled as if he was really going to fight now. Kim SeoJoon's eyes looked steadily at SeoJoon and said, so, I also give a real blow here. Kim SeoJoon has now officially joined the game. He launched his attack. SeoJoon was surprised. What is this? The attack force suddenly changed. His attack was much faster and sharper. It's completely different from before. Kim SeoJoon attacked while recalling the beginning of the match. There was a voice in his head, let's do some predictable attacks. Then add a few more diversionary attacks, in other words feigning. This trash, who said your attacks and diversions are easy to predict. Understand, if your opponent was a thinking creature, she would change her strategy, thinking less that your opponent would just stand there and attack. Make a few predictable attacks, then she will defend predictably. Pulling the spear back as if turning it towards him, Kim SeoJoon acted as those words indicated. Those words continued to echo, repeating until the opponent was in a position where he could no longer block his actual attack. And when that time comes, attack with all your might on the next shot. Back to the present, Kim SeoJoon is attacking SeoJoon vigorously. SeoJoon's eyes were now wide open. The entire image of Kim SeoJoon was in her sight. She realized the danger. A bright blue light covered the entire space where the two tried, not knowing what happened. SeoJoon stood there holding the sword, not understanding anything, wondering what had happened. Turning to the other side, he saw Kim SeoJoon being sent flying into the wall, seemingly very miserably. SeoJoon thought, what did I just do? I used all my strength to counterattack before thinking. She ran to Kim SeoJoon and asked worriedly, SeoJoon, are you okay? Kim SeoJoon also forcibly replied, I'm fine. Kim SeoJoon stood up and smiled foolishly, raised his hand and scratched his head and said to SeoJoon, I ended up losing. SeoJoon thought to herself, what happened in the end? Did he think he could win, even though this was a fight between a B-rank hunter and a junior cadet? Kim SeoJoon looked at SeoJoon and thought, it's true that hunters are completely different when fighting monsters. Is this the distance between me and a professional hunter? I still have a long way to go. At this moment Kim SeoJoon's phone vibrated. Kim SeoJoon picked up his phone and on the screen was a notification from the system about the progress of his lessons. They all increased. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, it increased just as I predicted. Kim SeoJoon lamented, is he saying he has to have a variety of experiences? It's not like earning experience points in the game, Let's ignore this. Kim SeoJoon turned to ask SeoJoon, Miss SeoJoon, you are not related to the tournament, right? SeoJoon also replied, yes I don't. Kim SeoJoon proposed, then when there aren't many dungeon attacks, can you fight me like this? SeoJoon suddenly asked again, is it a fight? Kim SeoJoon smiled and replied, yes, fighting with Miss SeoJoon is very beneficial, can I ask for your help too? SeoJoon thought rather shyly, even though he seemed injured because of my mistake, he still asked me to fight again. Well, who cares, he's a bit strange, he's very hardworking. SeoJoon finally agreed to help Kim SeoJoon. She said, I will do everything you ask, if I win I will also give you all the prize money always. Hearing about the prize money, Kim SeoJoon was quite surprised and asked, oh, is there a prize money? SeoJoon replied, of course, the prize is a competition. After saying that, SeoJoon put her hand to her chin and thought about the value of the bonus, saying, maybe it was about the same. $100,000, I heard. This amount of money reminded Kim SeoJoon of Longinus's spear. Thinking about that treasure, Kim SeoJoon immediately asked SeoJoon about the time of the academy tournament. SeoJoon replied calmly, there were still about 2 weeks left. Hearing this answer, Kim SeoJoon was immediately shocked because it was so fast. Kim SeoJoon hurriedly said to SeoJoon, do you have any sandbags here? No, Miss SeoJoon, can I tear this up? Kim SeoJoon didn't wait for SeoJoon to agree before taking action, causing SeoJoon not understanding what was going on and only mumbling a few meaningless words. Kim SeoJoon removed a piece of the wall. While carrying it and exercising, he started counting again. SeoJoon couldn't believe her eyes and said loudly, SeoJoon, what are you? In the end, he had to say helplessly, okay, there's a sandbag in the corner, so don't use it much. Before SeoJoon could finish speaking, Kim SeoJoon loudly thanked him. He was also determined to tell SeoJoon again, I will definitely take it. Get $100,000. 2 weeks later. The day of the tournament has finally arrived, the viewers are standing around together and talking. If someone good shows up then that would be great. I heard the name from before is also participating. Should I go take a look? I'm afraid you're our pride. The atmosphere was very noisy. A young man standing outside saw the place where the match was taking place and said, so this is where the tournament will take place. This guy, Lee Mingi, is a natural awakener. He carried a bag on his shoulder and looked at the scene in front of him and said, I'm finally here. Observing everything around Lee Mingi, it seemed like there were more people than he thought. Of course people would gather, there was something to see. Lee Mingi stood looking at everyone from behind and assessed that even though many people are awakened these days, ordinary people still like to watch hunters fight, not to mention the recruiters of mercenary guilds and organizations. Mixed in, perhaps there were even government employees. When everyone heard Lee Mingi speak, they had a reaction and thought in their hearts, is it an explanatory character? Who is he? So no one asked. I explain it all, it's the character who explains it. Lee Mingi finally realized that what he said was meaningless, so he ignored it and went to the tour guide to ask for directions to the waiting room. In the player waiting room, Lee Mingi seemed quite stressed, wondering what he should do. I was already very nervous when I came alone. I was too shy to move. In front of Lee Mingi, there were many players present, making him many times more nervous. Lee Mingi observed the contestants and evaluated them. Look at the sparkling weapons, how much did they cost? Look at their abs, they looked so confident. Since each academy sends its strongest cadet, everyone looks very strong. Lee Mingi noticed Kim SeoJoon sitting in a corner alone. He looked around and saw Kim SeoJoon's body, a crude weapon, and a spear carrier made of clothes, all of which made Lee Mingi wonder quite a lot. The participants all looked at Kim SeoJoon and laughed. Who is that poor guy? What academy is he from? What unknown academy is he from that wants to be famous? There were still mocking and joking sounds from everyone. Poor thing, he was probably forced to join that, but why did he go to that academy in the first place? I looked at it but he kept looking at the black screen. Forever, Kim SeoJoon sat there thinking he didn't care but actually he heard everything but he decided to ignore them and continue watching the lesson. There were still many jokes about Kim SeoJoon. Lee Mingi stood there and looked at Kim SeoJoon. He guessed, that person was definitely the one. My comrade, it's like when you first enter a new class and don't know anyone, so you act busy and play with your phone. It's the same. I came to the exam alone so I was a bit nervous, but there was no one to talk to. Same thing, that person also came to the exam alone. Lee Mingi looked at Kim SeoJoon pitifully. Lee Mingi was very sympathetic while Kim SeoJoon felt like she was being misunderstood. Lee Mingi approached Kim SeoJoon. Hello. You are a cadet participating in the tournament, right? Me too, I'm Lee Mingi, Kim SeoJoon also politely said back. Oh yes, I'm Kim SeoJoon. Lee Mingi cautiously asked Kim SeoJoon, can I sit next to you? Kim SeoJoon only replied yes. He looked at Lee Mingi in front of him and immediately felt, he looks so young, maybe a high school student is also participating. At this moment a voice full of anger said loudly, "Are you kidding me?" Lee Mingi pointed to the two people next to him and told Kim SeoJoon that it was Yang Duk-shul, he was a candidate for Gachuri Academy. You see, he uses an axe as his main weapon and is typically strong. It seemed like Gachuri was having an argument with someone. He said loudly, "If someone tells you to go away then go away." The other person did not yield and replied, "I have to go away because you told me to go away? You were the one who started the trouble, have you lost your brain?" This person is Lee Chulmin of Min Academy. Lee Mingi also explained to Kim SeoJoon, and the person Yang Dukshul was arguing with was Min Academy candidate Lee Chulmin. Lee Mingi continued, "I heard he's a bit strange, he uses double daggers." Kim SeoJoon looked at Lee Mingi quite confused and thought, why does this guy explain everything? Is he one of the famous explanation characters? Kim SeoJoon asked Lee Mingi, "Do you know a lot about other people?" Lee Mingi also enthusiastically replied, "I'm interested in many things." At this moment, a voice rang out in the distance. "Why don't you guys be quiet?" It was Lee Junyoon of Revenant Academy. He had a cold face and said, "You guys are not the only people in the waiting room." Kim SeoJoon looked at the newly arrived Lee Juwon and with one sentence made everyone silent. Quite noticeably, Lee Mingi next to him said, "His name is Lee Juwon and he is a candidate for Revenant Academy, but in reality he is the champion of this student tournament." Kim SeoJoon wondered, "Isn't the champion a candidate?" Lee Mingi added, "Well, at first he didn't intend to participate, he said this contest was too easy, but maybe there was something wrong with Revenant Academy. So in the end he changed his mind, if he participated he would definitely win. Do you know the Sword Saint?" Kim SeoJoon said with a confident expression that he didn't know. "Isn't it strange?" Lee Mingi also thought it was true because the Sword Saint is so famous. Lee Mingi continued, "The rumor was that his niece offered to recruit him." Kim SeoJoon heard that and suddenly said loudly, "Miss SeoJoon." Lee Mingi didn't know this person and asked again, "Miss SeoJoon, who is it?" So, Lee Mingi didn't care much about SeoJoon so he continued, "Anyway, I don't know why but I heard that he refused. He must be very confident to refuse the invitation of the Sword Saint's niece." Kim SeoJoon remembers when he first entered the academy, he once wondered to SeoJoon, "What do you mean the academy doesn't have any cadets and only exists on paper?" SeoJoon also calmly told Kim SeoJoon, "You see, this made Kim SeoJoon suspect something and he immediately told himself, I'm not sure that's not the reason." The trash can was kicked away and an angry voice rang out, "Damn, why do I have to participate in a tournament with those low-level people?" So it was Lee Juwon, he thought angrily, if it wasn't because he wanted me to raise them to high school. Even if there was a trash guy, it wouldn't be much better. Even if I won this contest, no one would recognize me. The more Lee Juwon thought about it, the angrier he became. He was now gritting his teeth, his eyebrows furrowed. Lee Juwon still thinks, if I knew this was going to happen, I would have accepted that girl's offer. Even though it was an unknown academy, she was the granddaughter of that Sword Saint. If I used her properly and took all the benefits for myself and then threw her away, now, Lee Juwon regretfully thought about it. The day he met SeoJoon and she invited him back to the academy, Lee Juwon coldly and bluntly refused. While angry, Lee Juwon noticed something. He glanced to the side. It was Kim SeoJoon looking at Lee Juwon very intently. Lee Juwon wondered, who is this poor guy? He cursed the contest again. Damn, it's so bad that even a poor guy like him can participate. Lee Mingi next to him turned to ask Kim SeoJoon, "What should I do?" He looked this way, Kim SeoJoon looked at me. "A thought is popping up in my head, he is a candidate that Ms. SeoJoon wants to recruit. I wonder how much my lesson score will increase if I compete with him." At this time, there was an announcement from the loudspeaker, "The first match of the Academy tournament will soon begin, all cadets please complete your preparations." Lee Mingi was about to tell Kim SeoJoon, it seemed like the match was about to start, but he stood up and left. Kim SeoJoon thought, over the past 2 weeks I have been preparing with the goal of reaching 30% progress in Chiron and Hangvu's lessons, even though I don't feel like my strength has increased or anything like that. I feel the difference between 19% and 20% more clearly than 20% and 21%. And my lack of practical experience compared to the other cadets was made up for by attacking the dungeon and fighting Miss SeoJoon. Kim SeoJoon clenched his fists in determination. He was confident, whether it was monster hunting or dueling, there was no problem. Kim SeoJoon thought about the prize money and said in his heart, $100,000, wait, I will come soon. The announcement speaker also announced the first match. The first match is Dungeon Maze Race. Hearing this first level, Kim SeoJoon said to himself, what a maze. The system also displays notifications about the progress of Kim SeoJoon's lessons: Chiron lesson progress 31.7%, Siddhartha Gautama lesson progress 6.8%, Hangvu lesson progress 31 points. 3.4%. At the stage, the MC announced that the first round of the tournament would begin. Everyone below the stage was excited. A photographer waved, calling, "Ah, senior, over here." The man who was called immediately scolded him. "Why did you take the chair in this corner?" He walked forward and accidentally bumped into a stranger. Immediately turned around and bowed her head politely to apologize. "Oh no, I'm sorry," the other woman politely replied. "It's fine." The photographer had already sat in the chair. He asked curiously, "What's going on? Is she someone you know?" He immediately replied, "No, she just looked like someone else." The details of the first round were explained. How to fight. The photographer answered that the first round of the tournament was the dungeon labyrinth race. Attacking other cadets was forbidden. Other than saying the goal was to escape the maze, there was nothing else. He was surprised and searched. Pathing is also a necessary skill for hunters, or is it testing the hunter's intuition? The photographer said, even if it's a low-level tournament, they can make a maze so simple that they can escape out just by luck. There will probably be monsters in the maze, and hunting them will help find a way out, possibly providing hints to get out. This is perhaps the most important test of a hunter's skill when raiding a dungeon. The man immediately thought about it, and the cadets this time seemed to be quite good, but suddenly, the crowd immediately stood up and shouted, and the photographer sitting next to him also loudly said, "Ah, senior, look at that screen over there." On the screen at this time, a powerful hunter slashed through the monsters with just a few sword swings, making them scream in pain. That person is none other than Junhua. The man from before was surprised and said, "Okay, how can that be the movement of a cadet? It's truly a different level." The photographer was extremely confused, even an outsider like me. "I also know he's very good." "Who is that woman, wearing a hat just now, who was also observing the match?" "She was SeoJoon. She deliberately disguised herself to watch the match," the other man praised. "It was Lee Junhua. Well, you could say he was the champion of this tournament." SeoJoon was equally surprised to hear that. "Lee, what about Junhua?" She immediately worried. Why was he here? The man who bumped into her earlier turned his head again. He looked like, "I've definitely seen her somewhere," causing SeoJoon to immediately cover her face. She sweated and thought, "No, I can't be recognized as the Sword Saint's niece, otherwise I won't be able to watch in peace." Her heart turned again, wondering if Mr. SeoJoon was okay. At the maze, SeoJoon removed the spear that she had nailed to the wall. He successfully took out his spear and said, "Just as I thought, they won't let us destroy the wall. Maybe just doing it the usual way would be fine." SeoJoon stood there, thinking to herself, "If I had known what was going to happen, I would have seen if there was a Theseus lecture." He pressed his hand against the wall. Groping along the wall, he monologued in boredom, "If I use the power that can move mountains twice, I can destroy this wall. I can also learn the trick to escape the maze." Explain a little. Theseus is the name of a hero in Greek and Roman mythology who was able to control the Minotaur and escape the maze. Suddenly, SeoJoon discovered something before his eyes. Is a junction. SeoJoon quickly chose a way to enter, thinking, "If I follow the most basic rule of escaping the maze, I just need to put my hand on one side of the wall and continue walking in that direction. Eventually it will work." To the exit. He proceeded to step inside, reciting the words, but the problem was the last word. Suddenly, SeoJoon's eyes glowed, causing him to stop. SeoJoon turned his head to look. He started to panic, turned to the left like this. What is this? What is this indescribable feeling? I don't know what it is, and I don't know why. SeoJoon's eyes were glued to the intersection just now. Suddenly, his intuition told him, he had a feeling that the answer lay on the other side. In his heart he thought, instead of the left I wanted to go at first, I have a feeling that I have to go the opposite direction, SeoJoon said. Put into words, could this be the intuitive sixth sense in Chiron's teachings? He pursed his lips. Then he trudged along according to his hunch. Well, I don't know, SeoJoon told himself. He scratched his head, probably trusting his intuition. Then, the system board appeared, announcing that Chiron's lecture progress reached 31.7%, Gautama's lecture progress reached 6.8%, Xiangyu's lecture progress reached 33.4%. That's strange, SeoJoon thought to herself. In the quiet atmosphere, the loudspeaker suddenly announced that Cadet Joe Suckman of Scar Academy had been eliminated. SeoJoon thought to himself, when he heard the announcement, it seemed like the other cadets had encountered monsters and fought. He continued to move, but why was there nothing around him? SeoJoon suddenly realized that her intuition could even avoid monsters. At that time, SeoJoon thought with a high face. If it's true, maybe when I reach 100%, I will be able to learn the art of transformation, see the future and all kinds of things, like foreseeing 3 seconds behind my opponent will attack or something. While thinking far away, suddenly a trembling voice came from behind. It was Mingy. He advised, be very careful. Did you hear anything? You don't know when or where the monster will appear. SeoJoon immediately became disillusioned. Yes, it was just an illusion. No way. He immediately lost interest and replied, yes, I know. As for SeoJoon at this time, he was like, who knows if he went to the right he would meet this guy. And for Mingy, even though he didn't meet a monster, he did meet a person. He acted like, me, why did you go from there? Come back. Mingy wondered, turned back and forth, asked, but brother, I saw you were so confident just now. What do you know? SeoJoon replied, no, I'll just go which way I like. Hearing that, Mingy was startled. It's true, going that way will lead to danger. I know how to escape the maze, so from now on I will take the lead. He looked confident, saying, do you know the left and right hand methods? If you keep following the left path, even the most complicated maze will be easy to solve. Hearing that, SeoJoon shook his head, said, it's been a long time, I'll go by feeling. How long are you planning to go for? Mingy wondered, so you'll definitely get lost. SeoJoon replied, so let's split up and go. No, why did you follow me in the first place? Mingy immediately raised his glasses and said, because we are comrades, we are together in trouble, making SeoJoon surprised. What? He said, well, it's because you participated alone. From what I saw, you also participated alone. Hearing this sentence, SeoJoon was dumbfounded. So that's why he talked to me in waiting room. Mingy said, I thought that weak people should unite, right? SeoJoon heard this and immediately froze, asking a big question mark. He scratched his head. Weak, am I right? Well, even though from the outside I don't have anything. Mingy then fumbled with his hands in his pocket, saying, because I also work hard on my own, I will be special. Let me show you something very interesting. He took out his phone. There was a picture of a girl on the phone, the exact same facial expression as Mingy. He said, I was, cute, that's your sister. This unintentionally made SeoJoon feel awkward. Oh yeah. He then picked up his spear and left, saying, I don't know who she looks like, but she's so cute. I'm leaving. It was nice meeting me, but let's not meet again. Seeing SeoJoon being ungrateful, Mingy immediately grabbed his leg. Again, wait, SeoJoon said, I don't want to. Seeing the guy clinging to his feet nonstop, he silently exclaimed, he is as tough as a leech. He also said a few short sentences. People like us have to unite to get out of here. Mingy is still not humble. Don't be like that. Let's go together. SeoJoon continued thinking, well, even if it's a fake awakening, wouldn't you still be scared and worried when you're alone in a place like this if you're young? Mingy held the sword tightly in his hand, worriedly saying, going alone is very dangerous. SeoJoon thought, he can talk a lot but he can explain things in the waiting room. But no matter how young he is still a contestant in this contest and a competitor. $100,000 is waiting for him. Thinking about it, SeoJoon turned around. He said, you just say he was alone all the time but his sister and parents didn't come to cheer him up. Hearing the question, Mingy was a bit surprised. He replied, well, my parents are dead, I only have my sister left. SeoJoon was dumbfounded. He immediately recalled his lonely memories, with no one caring or staying home with him. SeoJoon was silent for a bit. Seeing SeoJoon's gloomy face and not saying a word, Mingy immediately thought, I forced my mouth before I could think. He would be upset and make the atmosphere worse. Mingy was worried and frantically explained, I'm sorry, it was a long time ago and I just wanted to say that my sister was too young to come see me. Then, SeoJoon spoke up, you're right, comrades are in the same trouble. Those words made Mingy freeze. SeoJoon grinned and said, if you want to follow, just follow. He continued, and I'll say it first, the championship prize money is mine, so there's no deaf team out there somewhere. After SeoJoon finished speaking, he picked up his spear and left. Mingy on this side still couldn't handle the situation. Then, he decided, brother, let's go together. Mingy tried his best to chase after SeoJoon's shadow, muttering, speed, what is this? SeoJoon leisurely continued trudging, saying, you're the one who said you would follow. Mingy replied, I understand, but you can't go as you please. He was halfway through and thought to himself, what the hell? He didn't hesitate at all. He was too confident to walk forward aimlessly. It was like he already knew the way. There was no way that could happen. At that moment, SeoJoon on this side suddenly stopped. Seeing that he was no longer moving, Mingy in the back breathed heavily, looked ahead and said, dead end, I haven't caught up yet. He immediately called out, SeoJoon, you over here, put your hand against the wall, thinking, are you here? Mingi asked again, what are you doing? Without answering, SeoJoon immediately pushed the wall away. Immediately, that wall turned into a door and opened, making Mingi behind him also feel the halo. He let out a surprised sound. The loudspeaker sounded. The first person to pass the maze appeared. Fireworks exploded everywhere. An information board appeared. His passing time was 27 minutes and 12 seconds, and the passing time was a record. The record was 1 hour, 4 minutes and 34 seconds, making Mingi extremely surprised and gasp. The crowd below the stage were shocked, loudly asking, is it a new record? Ha, someone has already surpassed it. It can't be. Who is it? Lee Junhua, the other person said, but Lee Junhua is fighting. Here, SeoJoon behind everyone also looked at the notice board with some concern. She was so surprised that she stammered, what are you doing, Seo? Mingi on this side also exclaimed, Seo. Everyone was shouting, Mr. SeoJoon, only SeoJoon too, Mr. SeoJoon. On the bulletin board there is currently a portrait of the record breaker, Kim SeoJoon. You don't seem to find it difficult. Continued to move, muttering, wasting his experience points, but in the end he didn't encounter any monsters. Mingi was right at the door, still not recovering and looking after his shadow. Mingi still couldn't believe it and wondered, how the hell could this happen? I just happened to meet SeoJoon, and by the way, I wanted to work together to get out of the maze. Round 1 results were released. Top 1, Kim SeoJoon, 27 minutes and 12 seconds. Top 2, Lee Mingi, 27 minutes and 16 seconds. Top 3, Lee Junhua, 1 hour, 8 minutes and 7 seconds. Everyone is currently in the lobby, but they are talking to each other a lot. Did you know, it only takes 27 minutes? That person is surprised. It's okay to take that much time. That person, what academy is that from? That person replied, I looked it up and saw that it was Dream Academy, but I had never heard the name of this academy before. That person was surprised. Dream Academy. Another person chimed in, what a cadet from such an unknown academy is still at the top? The person said, Kim SeoJoon, or is it some kind of big street front house or something? Lee Mingi sat on the bench next to SeoJoon, not yet. I regained my composure and whispered, why did I end up like this? The other person talked again, what a surprise, I thought Lee Junhua would definitely come first. Who would have thought Lee Junhua would be ranked third? Suddenly, SeoJoon was sitting on the chair, holding the phone, but I was annoyed and thought, it's too noisy, I can't concentrate on listening to the lecture. Then suddenly, Lee Junhua appeared in front of him from somewhere. When SeoJoon looked up, the crowd in the lobby suddenly fell silent. SeoJoon wondered, what about Lee Junhua? What is this? Does he have something to say to me? Why is he scanning me from top to bottom? Junhua then grimaced angrily. When SeoJoon was about to say hello, he made a face and turned away, contemptuously saying, that's all. As for telling the contestants, he was just lucky. When those people heard it, they also started sweating. Then again, they were buzzing, KKK, of course, how could someone from those kinds of unknown academies be so good? Hee, so jealous, I wanted to be lucky too. At this point, SeoJoon breathed a sigh of relief. He thought, okay, let's end the lesson here. Still wondering what he was planning to do, suddenly, the main door opened. A staff member walked in and out. Damn, everyone focus, make everyone pay attention to him. That male employee said, I will announce the exam content of round 2. He still had paper in his hand. Then, the male staff member began to read. The second round would be a dual tournament style, because the competition was a level 4 tournament, so in order to maintain fairness, everyone's weapons could not contain mana. If it did, it would eliminate it. However, strengthening the body with mana is allowed. Duke Shul here rolled his eyes. My god, you guys are so clever in choosing. The male employee continued to say, besides, if the referee decides on A the cadet is no longer able to fight, we will forcibly stop the match. Please remember this. SeoJoon on this side thought to herself, there were 32 people who passed the first round. In the one-on-one round, it was normal to start with 32. I didn't know how to pair up anymore. Mingi sitting next to him kept trembling. The male employee then said, that's all. If there are no more problems, we will announce the match. Suddenly, someone raised his hand to ask for advice. Please. Error. I gave up. Hearing this sentence, SeoJoon was also surprised and let out a sigh. Outside the arena, SeoJoon sneaked away alone. She told herself, she almost lost it. Thinking back, when she opened her mouth to call out, Mr. SeoJoon, suddenly the man from before turned his head to look at her. He asked a question. You can't be. SeoJoon blamed herself. I was very surprised, however, when she shouted without thinking. Now, she was a little embarrassed and took down her hat, saying, Who would have thought that Mr. SeoJoon was the first? I'll come back after everything calms down. I was in the middle of thinking, where did the human voice come from? He shouted loudly, what is this tournament? Attracting SeoJoon's attention. She stuck her head in, thinking, over there. A group of men stood in front of the counter arguing. As expected, it was a place for betting. The man in the blue shirt felt unfair and said, didn't you say there were 32 people who passed the first round? Why the hell does the qualifying round start from the semifinals? The owner on the other side of the counter leisurely said, why what, everyone just gave up. The guy in the blue shirt disagreed with the owner. The man in the hat also said, now there's nothing good to bet on anymore. SeoJoon realized, why bet? The boss explained, well, I see you give up because Lee Junhwa will win in the end anyway. The guy in the blue shirt spoke up again, maybe that's true, but the betting odds are so low. Suddenly, out of nowhere a stranger wearing a cloak appeared and walked in. The boss said, no one would be stupid enough to order another cadet. Suddenly, a large suitcase was placed on the table by that mysterious guy, speaking, $1 million for Kim SeoJoon. Hearing this, everyone panicked. What? The guy wearing the hat almost fell down in shock. Are you serious? The boss immediately convinced him, sir, that guy was just a lucky kid. He came from an unknown academy called Dream Academy. SeoJoon was outside peeping at the whole scene, silently thinking to herself. Ask, who is that person? That guy was wearing an extremely dark and mysterious scarf, making SeoJoon wonder who that person was. SeoJoon in the lobby was bored right now. Things had already become so boring after just a little while. Going back to a while ago, when that person raised his hand to ask permission, I gave up. Everyone was surprised. SeoJoon was no exception. He asked, should I give up? Minji said, I heard that in this level 4 tournament, it's quite normal. Then, everyone gradually whispered, it was just a few points anyway. The top student will win. And of course, Junhwa was the center of discussion. This person spoke softly, but have you heard, if Lee Junhwa gets angry, he doesn't care about competing at all. He will fight until people are only half dead. I will never let myself have to fight with him, the other person said. Even if it's just an exam, if we somehow get injured, who will be responsible? This is only a level 4 tournament, not worth it. They were talking about a number of people at the same time, and there were too many strong people in this exam, and to be honest, if we continue, we won't become the stepping stones of the big academies. Then it's best to give up. Gradually, everyone has the same idea. After that, one by one the cadets left. I also gave up, me too. Mingi turned around, trying to hold on to everyone. But they were too fast. Damn, things were obviously going well at first. I just gave up. The crowd rushed out, leaving SeoJoon alone. Lethargy. And in the end, almost everyone gave up, except for 5 people. In this room there were Dukshul, SeoJoon, Chulmin, Mingi, and Junhwa. Dukshul said, young people these days really don't have any resilience. Finally, the competition announcement came. Round 1, Kim SeoJoon played against Jang Dukshul. Round 2, Lee Junhwa played against Lee Mingi, and Lee Chulmin received a ticket out. SeoJoon then thought to himself, I was already ranked first in the first round, and if I ranked first in the second round when I entered the final, would I automatically be the best overall? But when he looked at Mingi, SeoJoon noticed his hands are shaking. Immediately, SeoJoon didn't hide it but brightly asked why you were shaking so much. Mingi had tears in his eyes and said, brother, aren't you scared? The tournament is about to start. He was so flustered that he shook SeoJoon's body while saying, not to mention my opponent Lee Junhwa. You know, about SeoJoon he said, I see you're full of life. Then, SeoJoon spoke up, you haven't done anything yet and you're already afraid of losing. Mingi confessed, I don't even need to fight yet, I already know what the result will be. He boldly suggested, so you give up? Mingi hesitated, that's it. He then didn't have the courage to bow his head and look at his feet, replying, I can't do it. The male staff spoke up, Cadet Kim SeoJoon, Cadet Dukshul, time to prepare is over. The male staff member continued, the cadets whose names were called, please go to the arena. Hearing the instructions, SeoJoon stood up and still advised Mingi, if you don't give up, just keep fighting until you die, remember? What if you win? Suddenly, Mingi grabbed his wrist, causing SeoJoon to turn around and look at him. Mingi couldn't believe his eyes and asked again, aren't you worried at all? SeoJoon smiled confidently and replied, not worried at all. If he had to say something, I wonder how much EXP he would be worth. The words were tongue-in-cheek but Mingi didn't understand anything. He asked again, what does it mean? SeoJoon replied as he left, I'll come back later, I still have thoughts, wait for me, $100,000. See being left alone, Mingi stiffened, oh hello. On the field, the MC spoke up to lead the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for has arrived. The 63rd Academy Tournament, the second round, after all the trash has passed away. After all, only the strongest people remain. Let me introduce to all the cadets preparing to enter the second round. First, the MC introduced SeoJoon, who created a new record in the dungeon maze. The number of monsters caught was 0. Is this ability or luck? The cadet covered in mystery, he raised his hand. Greeting the audience, thinking, what a good way to say that people have given up completely. I wonder if Miss SeoJoon is watching. The MC continued, and his opponent, Duke Shul, now spoke up. His luck was over. SeoJoon then paid attention to his words. Arrogant Duke Shul, the MC introduced, tricks and cheats are all useless in front of absolute strength. I will grind you into powder, Axe Giant, Jang Duke Shul of Gachuri Academy. He also said, you passed round 1 and finally met me here. Duke Shul continued to demean the other person. He said loudly, or in other words, you were unlucky to pass round 1 because you had to meet me here. SeoJoon was extremely calm. He replied, oh really? Immediately, SeoJoon launched an attack without knowing which of the two of us was the unlucky one, causing the arrogant Duke Shul to grimace in anger. The MC spoke up again. Now we will begin. First match of round 2 of this tournament. The match started. When the MC shouted, Duke Shul frantically rushed over with an axe, screaming, I will make you regret for daring to talk nonsense so freely. On the contrary, SeoJoon was extremely relaxed. He even smiled as if he knew the move in advance. Mingi was sitting in the lobby waiting alone. When the TV made a sound, he looked up, thinking, the match has started, will SeoJoon win? Suddenly, Mingi noticed Junhua, who was standing against the wall filled with murderous intent. He thought, no, I don't think this is the time to worry about other people. Looking closely, he's giving me an extremely extreme appearance, Mingi thought, because in the next match I'll have to fight Lee Junhua. Quickly, Mingi remembered SeoJoon's words, you haven't done anything yet and you're already afraid of losing. If you don't give up then just fight until you die. What if you win? Mingi remembered. He trembled even more. Damn it, Mingi clenched his fists, silently cursing. Not only Lee Junhua, but Duke Shul and Lee Chulmin are both representatives of famous academies. Cadets from unknown academies like us cannot be compared. At least now I can give up, but soon, both Junhua and Chulmin were stunned in front of the TV screen, causing Mingi to pay attention. The MC then announced, great, it turned everyone's plans upside down. The match result was decided in the blink of an eye. Hearing these words, Mingi's face seemed brighter. On the stage, the announcement board displayed SeoJoon's portrait. The MC also summarized that the winner was Kim SeoJoon of Dream Academy. At this time, Duke Shul fell before SeoJoon. Junhua in the waiting room just looked at Mingi and said one sentence, those trashes playing together was really fun. Mingi bowed his head when he heard it. Suddenly, Junhua realized something. Mingi stood up, holding the sword in his hand. You boldly opened your mouth. Me. Me too. This made Junhua feel so itchy that he gritted his teeth. Back to the battle, Duke Shul used all his strength to swing the axe and let out a loud scream. Then he swooped down on SeoJoon. Because he was agile, he dodged the attack. The MC observed Duke Shul's speed and immediately praised him. Just as expected of Cadet Duke Shul, his strength was amazing. MC turned to look at the situation again, but Cadet SeoJoon easily avoided his attacks. It seemed like he wasn't just lucky. Duke Shul thought incredulously, this guy did it. What's up? Whenever he attacked, SeoJoon would dodge it, making Duke Shul think again. He had attacked non-stop, to the point of running out of breath, but he kept dodging as if it was nothing. Duke Shul swung wildly, he screamed loudly, why didn't his attacks work? Then, Duke Shul put all his strength into this attack. He challenged, let's see if you can dodge this attack. Quickly, SeoJoon raised his spear. Taking the opportunity for Duke Shul to swing the axe, he knocked his weapon away. Causing the axe to sink into the ground behind, Duke Shul trembled and couldn't speak. He collapsed helplessly. The MC immediately spoke up, amazing, contrary to everyone's expectations. This match was decided in the blink of an eye. Duke Shul just sat there, his voice trembling and wondering, have I lost? In a star power match, Duke Shul just finished mumbling. The MC immediately concluded, the winner was Kim SeoJoon, from Dream Academy. Immediately, SeoJoon's portrait appeared on the bulletin board. SeoJoon after the match was filled with disappointment as he looked at the phone screen. The system table shows the low index, Chiron Lecture Progress Index plus 1%, the hour meaning is 32.7%, Gautama Lecture Progress Index plus 0.5, the hour meaning is 6.9%, Xiangyu Lecture Progress Index plus 1.5%, meaning now 34.9%. SeoJoon looked at the screen, moving and talking to himself. The progress stat only increased so much. I came to hope that it would increase more if I fought against other cadets. Above all, almost the cadets were all entrenched, reducing the number of battles. The system gave a notification. The time before the free pass expires. There are 52 days left. This made SeoJoon panic. The number of days left for the free pass is still decreasing. What should I do? At this rate, not only Gautama's lecture but I will not be able to complete Chiron and Xiangyu. SeoJoon then opened the waiting room door in a depressed state, thinking, I will be broke if I buy a weapon and get a free pass. I have no other choice but to win that prize money. Suddenly Mingi was waiting from inside. He called out to him. SeoJoon looked at his expression, wondering, what's wrong Mingi? Why are you so angry? He happily replied, I saw your match. I didn't think you would be that strong. After hearing that stupid sentence, SeoJoon immediately explained, I never said I was weak, making Mingi startled. Ah, you're right. He praised again, great, it was really great, but quickly, the male employee quickly opened the door and announced, the second match is ready, come out when I call your name. Cadet Lee Mingi, Cadet Lee Junhua. Hearing his name, Mingi was a bit startled. On the contrary, Junhua stood up confidently. He also deliberately bumped into Mingi's shoulder, chasing away, avoiding, flies and mosquitoes. SeoJoon then watched Junhua leave. Mingi on this side trembled and said, do you remember what I said about us being the same in the maze? I don't know why, but from the moment I saw you, I felt a familiar feeling towards you. That's why, when you defeated Duke Shul, I felt happy as if I was the winner, but I also feel jealous. SeoJoon still listened attentively to Mingi. You are an unlucky person, have no talent, and you are not as strong as me. Then, Mingi confidently said, but I want to be a brother that my sister can be proud of. Suddenly, the male employee called his name again, Major Lee Mingi. He quickly replied, yes, I come here. SeoJoon said goodbye to Mingi by saying goodbye, doing his best. He replied, yes, then quickly left. Mingi's excitement made SeoJoon smile proudly. Let's meet in the final. At the arena at that time, the announcement board showed round 2, between Lee Mingi and Lee Junhua, but it seemed like he was still worried. Mingi put his hand on his chest, telling himself, I can do it, I can do it. This made Junhua click his tongue in annoyance. He frowned and asked angrily, why do you keep babbling so annoyingly? Mingi then thought to himself, everything makes me tired. I feel ashamed to be forced to participate in this nonsense match. The referee spoke up, I will explain the rules again before starting. Match. At that time, Junhua wondered, is this kid my opponent? While the referee was briefing, Mingi noticed something. It was Junhua's dangerous eyes that made Mingi tremble in fear, just like prey. Looking at Mingi's appearance, Junhua quickly assessed him and knew without having to fight. It was a prey. Junhua imagined Mingi as a small deer. A useless bastard who only knows when he's being eaten, a creature at the bottom of the food chain. To a predator like me, he is nothing more than a blade of grass. Junhua thought in hatred, this guy only came here thanks to luck, he should know his fate. Junhua continued to despise, I should have been in first place in both round 1 and round 2 of this competition. It's normal, because I'm on a completely different level than the trash participating in this farce. Suddenly however, he stopped, but in front of Junhua, a scene that seemed to irritate his eyes, Mingi boldly held the holy sword and took the stance of a swordsman. This made Junhua hate him, thank God. He thought, does this lowly mosquito think he can win? Junhua immediately asked the referee, hey referee, when can it start? The referee replied, the announcement will be soon. MC immediately spoke up, now, the second match of round 2 of the competition. Meanwhile, Mingi thought, I can do it, just like SeoJoon. Junhua felt fed up, he thought, there was no need to show off in this nonsense competition. When the MC shouted to start, Junhua quickly took the position to attack first. He whispered, I will finish in a blink. The sudden blow made Mingi surprised to block the attack. Junhua's sword force was clearly strong, causing Mingi to be pushed back. The MC leading the audience was, as expected, Lee Junhua. He immediately released breaths that were both fast and precise. On the other hand, Cadet Mingi looked like he was in a difficult situation. It may not be able to last long, the dust and smoke of the arena flying everywhere due to Junhua's energy. He swung his sword and threatened, if you were a bug, then act like that. Immediately, he used the hilt of the sword to hit Mingi in the stomach, making him vomit blood and his glasses flew off. The MC happily said, it was a strong punch. Mingi was immediately pushed back away. The MC continued, Cadet Mingi collapsed in pain. Was this the end of the match? Mingi then held the sword as a fulcrum. He tiredly thought, I will lose. Mingi seemed desperate. He thought, this is not a matter of whether I win or not, I can't compare to him. I really can't do anything. Even though I told myself I would become a brother that my sister can be proud of, I want to become strong like SeoJoon Hyung. Junhwa slowly walked over. But Mingi had no intention of giving up. He counted in his head, like SeoJoon Hyung. Then, Mingi slowly stood up in the presence of Junhwa. The MC again led. Oh, Cadet Mingi was standing up. He took the stance of holding the sword, telling himself, just once, if it's just once then it's okay. Then, he suddenly came. Even though this was easy for him, Mingi then attacked. He shouted loudly. I want my attack to reach him. When the sword was swung towards Junhwa's face. Immediately, the arena exploded loudly. In a few minutes, Mingi was lying on the floor. The MC concluded that there would be no overturning. The winner was Lee Junhwa of Revenant Academy. Everyone in the stands was happily buzzing. As expected of Lee Junhwa, he was invincible. Junhwa was at a level that shouldn't be participating in this competition. When a person speaks up, he may be an arrogant bastard, but he has the skills to prove it. As soon as he finished speaking, Junhwa was slashed and blood flowed down his face. This made Junhwa's face darken. The bulletin board displayed Junhwa's portrait and a cut on Mingi's cheek, making him wonder, did it touch me? All the audience started making noise. The bug that caused this life, cursed. Junhwa looked back at the group of people when there was the sound of laughter from one person. Starting off, the atmosphere around Junhwa gradually turned against him. Everyone became negative. Is he acting cool after defeating that person like that? I guess Junhwa isn't just that. It's a pity, man elite. When he heard the gossip, Junhwa said, hey referee, I'm coming to the fortress. The referee was examining Mingi's body when he raised his head and asked, what do you mean? Suddenly, he used his knee to hit Mingi's unconscious body in the head. The referee did not have time to move. Junhwa immediately spoke up, I can't stand the jokes in this place anymore. The reason this match became a fair is because you guys accept these idiots. That's why you guys just level 4. The referee saw Junhwa still continuing to torture Mingi, and immediately intervened verbally, Cadet Lee Junhwa, what is this? The match has already ended. If it continues, we will have to intervene. Junhwa ignored it. He continued to walk to where Mingi was, saying, why continue? I said I was defending. Why aren't you guys angry? Look at these guys joking around, still trying to become hunters or what? Then, Junhwa used his foot to step on Mingi's head. He was still babbling, just crawling up, not knowing his position. Trash as he should be. Before he could finish speaking, SeoJoon intervened. Junhwa quickly blocked SeoJoon's attack. He said, I'm waiting here, because we're going to play in the finals anyway, but I changed my mind. SeoJoon said with determination, you deserve to be defeated now. While struggling, SeoJoon ordered to let go. Junhwa wondered, what? SeoJoon said, put your dirty feet away. Junhwa immediately understood what SeoJoon meant. Instead, he pressed his foot even harder. Oh, is that it? Otherwise what if? Hearing that, SeoJoon frowned. He immediately opened his spear, causing Junhwa to step back and remove his foot from Mingi's head. SeoJoon approached and lifted his head up. This made Junhwa click his tongue in annoyance. SeoJoon worriedly asked, are you okay, Mingi? Are you still awake? Junhwa still spoke contemptuously at that time. It was truly a touching story between the little insects. Even though Mingi couldn't open his eyes, he could still dreamily open his mouth and call out, SeoJoon Hyung. SeoJoon then spoke up and asked Junhwa, what's so funny about looking down on others like that? The question made him pause. SeoJoon continued to say, what's wrong with you? Why do you always have to step on others like that? Junhwa then replied, you really don't know, that's why you asked. It's simply because I don't like insects that don't know their fate. SeoJoon continued asking, does that mean they can't have dreams? Junhwa, with an arrogant look, replied, what are you talking about? Dreams? Wow, I didn't know there were still people today who talk about such things. Flying like that. Junhwa continued, you mean you can do everything if you're diligent? In the stands, everyone is talking. It's really chaotic. Why don't the organizers do anything? Why not can it? The referee is also arguing. People want to intervene. Blame the person next to them. What do you mean? Don't stop them. We should stop them. The referee next to him just replied, I don't understand either. But this is an instruction from above. From now on, just stand outside and observe. On the other side of the wall, the person behind it is also the mysterious strange guy at the betting place the other day. SeoJoon in the stands also felt worried. She called softly, SeoJoon. Junhwa lashed out again, damn, I didn't expect you to be so stupid. Hey, let me teach you a lesson. This is a world where the strong will win, do you understand? Only by defeating others can you survive. There is no place for those who only dream. Here there is only victory and defeat. Hearing those familiar words, SeoJoon immediately froze. Junhwa confirmed again, This world is like that, idiot. SeoJoon could only kneel there and lift Mingi's body. The truth is, he also thought the same as Junhwa. SeoJoon began to reminisce. During the 9 years he had to endure to become a super hunter, he had to face reality many times. He was once a person with no talent or money. It seems like nothing can be done. No matter how hard I work, it's only enough to maintain my life. I can't improve anything. No matter how hard I try, it's still miserable. I've wondered hundreds of times if I'd given up and done it. What would it be like in another way? At this time, SeoJoon called the referee behind. Please take care of Mingi for me. Fear can hold me back and make me doubt myself. I can't count the number of times I wondered if I could do it. Suddenly, after handing over to the referee, SeoJoon immediately stood up, surprising the referee. Of course, call Cadet SeoJoon. That is also the reason why many people do not dare to face reality, but, returning to the present, SeoJoon stood opposite Junhwa, asking, so what? It's not something you can treat as trash and insult it. Suddenly, SeoJoon rushed towards Junhwa with his weapon, shocking the referee and contestant SeoJoon, thus violating the violence law. SeoJoon rushed towards him while swinging his spear. The referee tried to verbally stop him. Junhwa then sighed and huffed. He tilted his head up, laughing wildly, truly ridiculous. Immediately, SeoJoon attacked with a spear. Junhwa also held a sword to block the attack. He laughed and said, "You're a damn cockroach." SeoJoon replied, "You're the same." Immediately, Junhwa knocked SeoJoon away with a swing of his sword. Quick as lightning, he rushed forward while raising his sword. SeoJoon immediately blocked it with the body of his spear. Junhwa just changed the direction of his attack into a circle, causing SeoJoon to defend everywhere. Many sword slashes were also printed on SeoJoon's face. He silently said, "This guy is really strong, so everyone also respects him very much, but I can't lose." Right now, Junhwa came swinging his sword again. SeoJoon then closed his eyes defensively. He struggled with his mind. "No, don't think like that. You don't have time to think about those things. Just go with the flow, move based on feeling." Immediately, he followed his hunch and used the spear handle to push Junhwa in the stomach. He lost his stance. Immediately increased the distance between the two. A referee spoke up, "What is this? Both of you stop." Junhwa didn't pay attention. He loudly interrupted the referee, "Don't interfere." He stuck to his own thoughts. He is an animal that eats, animals that specialize in hunting. But with those eyes, Junhwa noticed SeoJoon's extremely angry eyes, and at the same time his dangerous look. Junhwa gritted his teeth and thought, "Why do I see that familiar look in an insect like him?" Junhwa then opened his mouth. "Ha, it's easy to say some unrealistic things." Suddenly, Junhwa quickly rushed to SeoJoon's face and continued, "But can you stand up to defeat reality?" Halfway through beating the drum, he swung his sword again, and SeoJoon blocked it at the same time. This made Junhwa extremely angry, thinking, how can he stop it? The two clashed, making SeoJoon on this side unable to withstand the force and let out a few sounds. Junhwa then continuously slashed at him, but only hit SeoJoon's blocking attacks. Junhwa felt strange. He thought to himself, "It was my imagination." Just like that, he was able to block each slash more and more accurately. Junhwa noticed his face. Noticing that SeoJoon had a more attentive expression, he thought to himself that after blocking one of my moves, he seemed to have become even stronger. In a moment of inattention, SeoJoon immediately brought the spear towards him. He continued to think before SeoJoon swung the spear, like he was witnessing a beast. Junhwa wasn't even ready for his counterattack. Immediately, both of them were injured in the abdomen and were quickly pushed apart. Junhwa was angry, cursing under his breath, "Damn, am I being pushed back a bit, by this damn guy?" Immediately, Junhwa became angry. Never, he told himself. Junhwa's sword also had his ability accumulated. SeoJoon looked at it and realized, what an energy sword. If I don't know how to control mana, I will never be able to win. At that time, Junhwa used mana for weapons, something that should have been banned in the match. All the referees and bodyguards spoke up to stop him. Junhwa, damn it, stop him. Junhwa and then let everyone listen and scream, "I will kill you." In SeoJoon's mind, he thought of a plan, run quickly. That was the only way to think. Suddenly, SeoJoon once again struggled mentally. But why did my brain tell me to run? But I didn't want to. I just felt that if I ran, all the things I had tried to build before would be in vain. Suddenly, a human voice echoed in his head, "The trust of the Chu country." Behind SeoJoon soon contained the figure of Xiangyu. He said, "I once told you about the song of the Chu country, didn't I?" A disciple once asked me. "Why did we jump straight into the enemy every time we went into battle?" They asked what it would be like if it was a predetermined war. That's right, when the result was determined, if we lost, there was no way to live. Even though we didn't want to admit it, that was the first time we felt afraid. The thing that scared us the most was failure ourselves. While listening to Xiang Yu's lecture, in reality, Junhua rushed at him with his sword energy. Xiang Yu continued, "Even so, I still fought to the end. Do you know why or not? Just because." SeoJoon gripped the spear handle tightly. Xiang Yu continued, "What I must do." "Hey kid, if you already know you will fail, believe in yourself and fight to the end, even if you have the ability to move mountains. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't win against anyone." And that, the most reckless fighting spirit, Xiang Yu fought and lost, and that was how he was able to become the king. Moving the mountain will move the whole mountain. Immediately, SeoJoon followed Xiang Yu's instructions, finally getting into a fighting stance and preparing to rush in like Xiang Yu in the past, filling the lake and shaking the whole world. Quickly, SeoJoon's spear gathered mana, surprising Junhua on the other side. He gritted his teeth, shouted angrily, "Don't make me laugh, I'm the carnivore, the one who will devour all lowly creatures like you." The two were about to collide, but outside there were many bodyguards running to intervene. Junhua screamed with hatred, "Die you bastard." SeoJoon on this side also shouted before encountering Junhua. Then, it was too late for the team of soldiers. Their weapons touched each other, immediately creating a shockwave. The center of the field also creates a strong seismic zone that spreads to the stands. The current bodyguards were thrown away. Gradually, when the shock subsided, the next thing they saw was smoke and dust. One of them raised his voice in surprise, "Whoa." That person was annoyed and blamed, "Damn, the smoke made me unable to see anything." The other person was curious at the same time, "Who won?" When the smoke gradually dissipated, the silhouettes of two cadets appeared. The smoke gradually dissipates. SeoJoon on this side was still able to hold on, but Junhua on the other side fell directly to the ground. SeoJoon trembled on the spear. As for Junhua, he actually vomited blood on the ground and fainted. Everyone in the stands was intently looking at them. That way, everyone can understand who defeated who.